Hi, I'm Mike Harrington, and in 2014, I embarked on a health journey resulting in my losing over 200 pounds on my own. Since then, I've been sharing my story and have become an advocate for healthy living. Welcome to Mike Inspires Me, a podcast show about health, wellness, and amazing people to inspire you to take charge of your life and your health. Hey there. Welcome and welcome back to those of you faithful listeners who've been following my series. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I was thinking about one of the subjects I'd like to talk about. There's all kinds of things that I ruminate over in the content that I want to bring to you. And I'm always thinking about where people struggle when it comes to their health. There's many things that I can relate to personally and through friends and family and people who talk to me. And a lot of things I see people write about and talk about out on the internet or in public when it comes to their health. And health to me also is more than just, your physical fitness. It really is everything. It's your physical, mental, and spiritual health, your overall well-being, which all is interrelated and all affects each other. So today I thought about something that my wife says to me often when we're looking at starting a project or trying to finish something. And it has to do with, well, let's just get this done and started and not worry about if we finish. And she'll say to me, something's better than nothing. In other words, let's just give an example. Actually, let's give a real life example. We had a big pile of papers we needed to file, and we had been moving papers into like a new file cabinet. It's a lot of our, tax paperwork and personal things. And it started to become a big mess. And when you live with two people with ADD like me and Terry, one, we get overwhelmed by a lot of distractions to get around to doing it, and also overwhelmed by the sheer madness of the pile getting bigger and us feeling like, we're never going to do it. And so we see this big pile of stuff. It's just becoming a mountain. It's a great analogy, by the way, hike with Mike analogy, right? Got this big mountain I got to climb. Well, how do you climb a big mountain? Well, you just take a step, right? And yeah, it's going to be work, but let's just focus on one step and then another step. And eventually you do enough steps, you're going to get to the top. And yeah, it's going to be hard work. But if you look at the, 15,000 steps it's going to take to get to the top of that mountain, you're going to feel overwhelmed. I mean, hey, think about it. In a day, a lot of us, use our fitness trackers and we're doing 10,000 steps and, we'll push ourselves. Oh, I got to get those steps in, got to get that 10,000 steps, and you'll walk around a block or pace around your house or whatever to get those steps in, right? But if you look at the whole 10,000, right, it makes you, my gosh, 10,000, that's a big number. And that's true. But you just start by one step and you do something. You at least make an effort. And, if you can't get 10,000 steps in, if you got 5,000 steps in, well, guess what? 5,000 steps is better than no steps. Well, of course, if you got out of bed, you're going to have more than 0 steps. But you get the point. The point is that if you don't get to 10,000 steps in and you only get 5,000, it's not going to be detrimental to your health and say, well, it's 10,000 or nothing, right? I mean, think about it. 5,000 is better than 100. You know what I mean? And so, we set these goals for ourselves, but we may not always be able to perfectly execute them. And I used the example a couple of weeks ago or not too long, when I talked about when I go to do my workout in the morning. Now, there's times I go with how my body's feeling. As I'm getting older, I sometimes my body, I'm a little tired, or I'm a little worn out or whatever. And I go down to do my weightlifting routine. And because of whatever reasons, I may not feel 100%. And maybe I'm 50% of my strength, or 50%, and I'll go down. And this is not to say I don't put as much effort as I can, but I don't skip it. And there are times maybe I do something a little different. It could even be as simple as stretching. Maybe, I have a lot of soreness in my legs at times from all the walking and things I do. And so maybe I go and instead of doing a leg day for me, because my legs are already pretty big as it is, but and pretty, although not visually toned, they are pretty strong. But I may just stretch them. But the point is, going down in my basement, and which is where I work out, and doing something is better than me just skipping it and saying, "Oh, well, my legs are sore, I'm not going to do anything." But why? Well, to me, going down and sticking to the routine, sticking to something, right, is better than nothing. Because let's face it too, over time, you skip enough workouts. And if you guys have been there, other than, so those of us who are committed health nuts, but I've had times in my life where it just slowly drops off because of one reason or another. You don't stick to commitment. But if you stick to something, okay, and just at least say, well, look, I know at a minimum I can go down to the basement and stretch and do some bends and things like that. Don't necessarily want to make that always your goal. You want to certainly challenge yourself, but challenge yourself enough that you're going to do something. I'm all for getting yourself to push yourself to your limits, but you don't want to do it to the point that it's discouraging. Because if you feel discouraged, you're not going to continue. You're not going to sustain what you're trying to do. And every effort that you do, okay, no matter how little it is, adds up. Now, a few years ago, I did a talk for Toastmasters called "Health is an Investment in Your Future." And I got to see if I got a video on that. I'm actually going to redo it. And let me explain the concept. It's going to be much better seeing it visually. In fact, I have a lot of fun doing it. I bought a piggy bank, right? And actually, when I did this, I had sunglasses on. I was talking about my health transformation. And I said, my future's so bright, I got to wear shades. And so I put my shades on. And then I said, well, on that note, I talk about, I start leading into, how I invested in my health. And I bring out this pig, and he has the sunglasses on too. And I said, this is my future pig. And this piggy bank is what I consider like a representation of my health. And I got a pile of coins and money. And what I do is I talk about, all right, every time you do something positive for your health, you take a walk, put a nickel, put a quarter, whatever, into that bank. Okay. Have some broccoli, put in an investment. You keep putting in, to add value to these things. It's arbitrary. But the point is, each thing that you do, small, a walk, meditation, sleep, you're contributing to that health savings account. You're investing in your future. Okay? Each little thing. And there are times that you may take a little out. Maybe, you know what? You ate a half a tray of brownies. Okay? And it happens. And so then you start withdrawing money out of this piggy bank. And I had a lot of fun with it. I was having people in the audience, talk about some of the things, give me some ideas of some good things and some things that would withdraw from the bank. And I remember I started dumping money and saying, all right, you ate a half a thing of brownies. All right, you're going to dump this thing out. But you get the point. Okay. And when it comes to your health, okay, every little thing that you do, as long as it's contributing more going into that bank. It doesn't matter the size of each thing individually, because each little thing adds up. But if you're not doing anything, there's nothing going in. I mean, you think about it like a regular, if you're saving money, even if you're putting $1 in a week, and if that's all you can afford, $1 is better than $0. You put your dollar in your savings account. If you put $1 a week, well, it's $52 a year. I know it ain't much money, but you get the point. The point is $52 is better than $0. But as long as you're constantly thinking of ways that you can, you know what? It looks nice out today. I'm just going to walk and take a 5-minute. That's all I got time for. A 5-minute walk. And I'm going to tell you something about a 5-minute walk. Let me tell you holistically what a 5-minute walk can do for you. All right. Number one, for me, within just a few minutes, getting my heart rate up, and I'm not talking a hugely, super fast walk, but just a walk. Number one, it relaxes my body. Now, oh, geez, you're moving. Yes, but on the other hand, that movement gets the blood pumping a little bit. It gets your mind kind of starting to focus. And if you can focus on the walk, if you can focus on the environment, if you can walk in the woods or around trees, you can get a therapeutic effect with the mental health aspect of it. Because I know for me, if I'm having a rough time, take a 5-10 minute walk, and I start to relax, calm down. Well, that has a therapeutic effect overall on my body, even physically and physiologically. So if I'm not so stressed, then my health improves. You know that you can stress yourself into a headache, into a muscle ache, into a heart attack. But if you can learn to take small steps, if you can learn to do something, it's better than not doing anything at all. Because let's talk about the opposite here. If you're constantly contributing negatively in small ways, and it may not seem much, but if you're talking negatively about yourself, or if you're, I don't know, the lack of better thing, but you're having potato chips, every day, or if you're stressed, it adds up too. Okay? I'm not saying completely eliminate those things, but if the check and balance is weighing more on the side of contributing positively, then some of these things that you enjoy, if it's potato chips or donut or things like that, or maybe just sitting around and relaxing, and or some other things that may. I mean, I'm not advocating things that are directly harmful. I'm not telling you to go out and smoke a bunch of crack, and as long as you do some sit-ups, you're going to be fine. It doesn't work that way. Use some common sense, but you got some leeway, so that at the times that you do need to make a withdrawal from your health savings account, you've got enough room. Okay? But on the other hand, if you get too focused on just, I've got to go and I've got to take this lifestyle I'm living, and I got to completely revamp it. I mean, I'm a good example of that, okay? Because I think in some ways it's easy to look at my life and my story. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink here. And think, well, Mike's a health nut now. And certainly, I guess I am. I don't know. I mean, it's easy to look at the things that I'm promoting, and because I do promote healthy living, that, you may think, oh, well, my life's perfect. Well, if you're paying attention and you listen to me, I still have challenges. They didn't disappear. Many life's challenges, life isn't about avoiding challenges. It's all about how you deal with the challenges that are going to come up. Things are going to come up. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose family and friends over time. These are facts of life. I mean, maybe not the job, but certainly that had been over this past year. A lot of people lost jobs, or, all kinds of tragic things happen. But you need to learn self-care, as I talked about a few weeks ago, to be able to deal with these things. Because if you're not contributing positive to your health, you're not just doing something, you're going to turn to the things that are negative, and it's going to make things worse for yourself. And again, I'm not saying I don't make mistakes too. I binge eat. We talk about this. You've heard me talk about that. Am I proud of that? No, I'm not proud of it. Do I joke about it? Yeah, I do, because I'm trying to at least not hate myself for it, not beat myself up about it, because that's only going to make things worse anyway. But I look at my lifestyle, and you see me hiking every weekend, hike with Mike, right? Here he is hiking again and hiking again. And but don't misinterpret, where I am, because when I first started, it was just small things. I was taking a few-minute walk with Terry. It started with her. In fact, I got bored with walking, and I can remember telling her in the early days, this is boring. I don't really enjoy it. And eventually it turned around when I started to see the positive effects it was having on my body. And maybe that's another good talk sometime, is like, hey, before you go and write something off, just give it a chance. You know what I mean? I mean, the same thing with, a lot of folks that tell me, I don't like to eat vegetables, or I don't like broccoli, I don't like this and that. Well, maybe you should have a rule. Try it 3 times. And then if it's then and you find you can't do it, then, but if there's something that's going to be good for you, if you know that it's going to contribute to your health, try a little bit. Don't have to bite off the whole thing, but a nibble. Like I said with the walking, I did a little bit. And eventually I became a fanatic. But what I started to see with me, as I mentioned, is overall, it helped physically tone my body up. Probably, I'm a little leery on talking about, well, it burns. It does. It burns calories, right? Because if you're moving, you're expending energy. And certainly it can help with weight loss in some ways. Again, I'm going to emphasize most of weight loss comes from what you're eating, because you can't just, eat a bunch of junk and walk and think you're going to lose weight. And then the mental health aspect, which to me today is by far the biggest benefit for me, because it's really what's been holding me together. It's really what's been my maintenance. It's my medication. I told somebody yesterday, I forgot who I was talking to. I tell this to everybody. It was my neighbor. We were chatting, and he said, "Oh, you look so good." I hadn't seen the guy in a while, and he was just telling me, I said, he says, "Yeah, I see you going hiking all the time." I said, "Brother, it's less about the exercise now and more about the mental health. For me, it's about being in the woods, and, sometimes it's just a few minutes, something. It's all I need, just that little exposure to contribute positively to my mental health. There's something about the whole experience for me to do it. But if I don't do anything, if I just say, well, I don't have the time, those things add up too. And each time that you give up a chance to contribute positively, well, over time, it will add up, and it will crop up in ways that are not so pleasant when it comes to, your doctor telling you, well, now you got high blood pressure or this and that, or you've got anxiety because, let's face it. And I don't want people to misread what I'm saying here. I'm not saying, people don't have, like mental health issues or physical health issues that aren't in their control, but there are a lot of things you can do to help those things. I think about my friend, David Lyons, who has a foundation helping people deal with symptoms of MS. And although they don't have a cure for it, they do things to contribute positively to deal with the symptoms of it. And, a lot of that's the same thing here. I don't have a cure for the world's problems that are going to come to me and I have no control over, but I do have a control over how I deal with them, because it's in how I deal with them that's going to affect me, body, mind, and spirit. And if I do things consistently, drink alcohol, do drugs, whatever, okay, momentarily, I may, quote, feel good, but over time, you drink too much, you're going to have problems with your liver and all kinds of stuff. You do drugs, you're going to end up with a drug dependency, and you're never going to have, or overeat, you're going to be 400-pound Mike. Little things. That's all. It doesn't have to be climbing a mountain all at once. It's one step. Go a quarter up the mountain. Turn around. That's enough. I did it today. Tomorrow, do it again. And again. It's the cumulative effect that matters more than the overall effort at the moment. I hope it makes sense. If you've got questions for me, please reach out to Mike at MikeInspiresMe.com. Happy to discuss any of this. If you don't agree with me, well, let's talk about that too. Because I really feel that making the best effort to just do something is far better than doing nothing at all. Hope you're doing well today. And hey, on that note, do a little something for yourself. Give yourself a little treat, a positive one that's going to contribute to you living your best life. Hope you enjoyed this today, and stay awesome. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Mike Inspires Me podcast. Stay tuned for future episodes and check out some of the past ones you may have missed. For more information on me and my story, go to MikeInspiresMe.com. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Mike Harrington Official and on Twitter at Mike Inspires Me. Stay healthy and stay awesome.